I hope y'all can nest double E, cause I need your eyes on me. Cause once I get my feet in this end zone, no one can STOP. Can I make a scene like a movie, feeling big, keep it juicy before we start getting unruly. I've been hooping like a hoolie, keep it coolie before I stuff you in a locker like a bully. Like a bully in the work, you can see my fingernail dirt. I'm the last one to leave, even when I come first. Yeah, you might want it bad, but I'm sure I want it worse. I'ma do it cause I love it, I'ma love it till it hurts. What's the worst that can happen, Captain? I'm strapped in, no I'm not crazy, I'm just tapped in. Hungry like I'm fasting, I'm about that action, no slacking. Well, I'm sorry, Miss Jackson, cause here come the pain. No one to call up for help, no one to blame.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Straight ahead, it's Wild Card Weekend, and we've got a great one in store between the New Orleans Saints and the Green Bay Packers. What twists and turns will January have in store for us? The NFL playoffs are officially underway. And they will elect to not bring this one out as our first drive will begin at the 25. They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And he's got room. And he's able to get it all the way down to the 20. 55 rushing yards rushing for him now as he has started this wild card round with a flourish. They had trouble stopping the run last week in a loss, and here it rears its ugly head early.
You're supposed to try and get your confidence going after a loss like that where you gave up big yards running the football. This is not the way to go about it. It looks exactly as it did just a week ago.
And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. A solid pickup of 12 yards, and now they're knocking on the door.
Solid running there. And, CD, we hear so much about what it takes to win in the playoffs. Most people like to include having a strong running game in their assessment. And with this man in the backfield, this group has a strong running game without a doubt.
Oh, I absolutely agree with you there because in terms of yardage, he's a top 5 running back in the league. And in terms of impact on a game, not many better than him. And when they're flowing and he's carrying the ball consistently, they're tough to beat.
Give him 3 on the gain there, 2nd and goal.
Here's where we need to see some tenacity from this defense because they've been pushed right down the field on this opening drive. They've got to find some way to push back, and that's a good first step.
The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. From the gun, it's a run for Kamara. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
He's got exactly what you're looking for, the ability to not just diagnose a play and quickly, but to make a play as well. Nice job there tackling it for a loss.
So they're back at the 7 now for 3rd and goal.
Here's Fields.
And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown.
Justin Fields
taking it in from 7 yards away.
And the Saints will strike first here, this wild card matchup.
So much for being intimidated on the road in the playoffs, right? That was a pretty clinical drive right there.
Yeah, they seem to come out with the attitude of, we don't deal with pressure. We create it on the other team. Just took it right down the field and stuffed it in the end zone.
Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0. The ball upright on the tee, and the Saints kick team booms it away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. They go play action here on first down. Looking left side, and it's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. It'll go as a gain of 25 on a play that started back at the 25.
Defense gives up a touchdown on the opening drive. Offense, you got to want to get out there and get those points back right now.
And that's a sharp throw there to get this drive off to a good start. Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And good penetration here. He'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
On play action, they'll throw. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field.
And this is dropped. Oh, boy. A chance for a big play early, but he could not secure it.
On every offensive coordinator, every play caller sheet, they have about 5 or 6 plays per game that they call shot plays or big plays, and you don't get many opportunities to dial them up, and they just did, and they drop it with a great chance to make a big play. That's going to hurt.
Meanwhile, on third down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest. And with a guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep. Try and throw some air under it and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they were unsuccessful.
Back to throw here. That's into the hands of Edwards. And he is going to have a Packers first down, as that'll be a gain of 15 on fourth. How about them biting up 15 yards there on the fourth down attempt and keeping the drive alive? So now following the roll of the dice, they've got a 1st and 10 inside the 35. A shotgun snap and a give to Etienne. Taken down by Pete Werner.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Another tote for Etienne. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. Give him 18 on that play, and Green Bay has the first as well. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script, you go through your play calling, you go through all the stuff and establish things, and it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
No gain on the play there, 2nd down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Here's Jones again on 2nd down.
And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard. So from 2nd and long, now we go to 3rd and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
Just a yard, but that's all they needed. And by the slimmest of margins, it'll be 1st and goal.
How about that there? No frills, no additives, right? Nothing crazy. Just find a way to pick up the first down. A nice run right there.
1st and goal, and a chance to get that initial touchdown right back.
Jones. His hand. Touchdown, Packers. And that caps off what was really a balanced opening drive for them, Charles. They work in the rushing game and the aerial attack, and they end it with a touchdown.
Strong in so many ways, wasn't it, partner? Their ability to throw it and run it and accomplish their goal. They got to like the way that they start to this ball game.
Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. So both of these teams, Charles, coming off touchdowns now, but this offense, they just had to stand on the sideline, watch their opponent author a really impressive drive to reach the end zone.
Yeah, and I think you're not telling yourself the truth if you don't think there's some one-upsmanship going on right now, because they just had their touchdown answered by a drive of double-digit plays that also found the end zone. Now they want to do something even more impressive to answer that one.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. He's got room at the 30. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Another big gain or two in succession as this one goes for 32. What a luxury to have a tight end that can not only catch it, but then can run after the catch like that.
What was the old expression back in the good old days that they used to carry pianos on their backs when they were after they caught the football? Someone would stop and bang out.
The ball is out. Kamara fumbled it. And this is going to be Packer football.
You remember in preseason when we were going to the different training camps and visiting teams, and we always would see the running backs working out and going through those gauntlet drills, and guys either slapping at the ball or the machines. You got to learn to take care of it.
Yeah, they lost it there. Big fumble. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. They'll take over after that pretty clutch forced fumble as they begin inside their own 5-yard line. And a short gain here as he gets it up only to about the 6. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
Anytime they think they've got him open beyond the markers, you know they're going to throw it his way. And that's not going to change even after that incompletion was forced.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. He's going to launch this deep for Watson. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. On now is the Packers punter. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. And here's a very low-line drive, almost whiffed on it. And what a golden break here. This ball is going to be touchdown, but just outside of the red zone. Now a timeout called for by the defense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Now a 1st down carry. It's Kamara. And some determined running there as he'll pick his way down to the 12-yard line.
Jair Alexander on the tackle. A gain of 13 yards. First down.
These two teams all tied after one.
End of the first quarter with the score tied 7-7.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. They run it again with Kamara. They'll get this down inside the 10 for a pickup of about 3. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
A 2nd and 7 with our score tied at 7, but they're planning to change that soon. Only question, will they get 3 or 6 out of it? On the counter, here's Kamara. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. 89 yards rushing for him now as he goes over the century mark here in the wild card round.
And that last carry puts him right at 100 yards for the game. So how has he done it? Because he's been patient,
followed his blocks, let everything develop, and then burst through for big gains.
And they'll turn to the power game to try to get in. And he is in for the score. Touchdown, New Orleans. Taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Saints have taken the lead. Extra point right down the middle. And that makes the score 14-7.
Saints 14, Packers 7.
The ball upright on the tee, and the Saints kick team booms it away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Packers take over 1st and 10 at their own
31 yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They trail a 1-score deficit, 14-7, as they come up 1st and 10. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Oh, now he'll try and chuck it deep left side. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marcus Williams.
And the Saints are going to take possession of the football.
He violated a big-time no-no in throwing that pick. Rolling right, throwing across his body.
And you know that your dad taught you that in the backyard when you were a tyke.
Yep.
Don't do it. The problem, every now and then you get away with it.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. They'll wind up losing 3 there on the sack. Good pressure, and it's 2nd down. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's really a difficult task.
Another try after the 1st down sack. Fields. And his throw is incomplete.
As defensive coordinators around the league tell me all the time, that throw is not for every quarterback because you've really got to drive the ball downfield. It's going to be a tight window for him to fit that one into. In this case, unsuccessfully.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Back to throw, Fields. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down.
On 4th down, J.K. Scott ready to punt it away.
I feel like you and I could be in our backyard with our dads right now. What did they always say when they were throwing us the ball? Look it all the way in. Make sure you secure it. That had the feeling of not happening there on that play, that he didn't have full control of the ball.
When that punt's coming in, I don't have a return punch, but I would imagine it's tough to monitor those guys coming full steam ahead at you.
It really is. You try and get that peek to know where they are, about whether you should fair catch it or not. But sometimes you just have to have a sense, a feeling, and just have to make sure, number one, though, you catch the ball and put it away.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
An awful lot of congestion in the middle third of the field, but how about our defensive tackle right there? He didn't just hold the line. He provided some push and smacked the ball carrier down for a loss.
Kamara gets it again on 2nd down.
And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line.
And even 100 yards rushing for him in his first half, as he has certainly carried over his regular season success into the playoffs.
They'll run with Cook. And he gets halfway there from the 6 to the 3 on a gain of 3.
Dalvin Cook, so good in the open field, but he's equally good down here near the goal line. He can find those seams and just push his way through. So he might get another chance or two to punch this one in.
Again, it's Cook, but he will go backwards as he's stopped for a loss.
This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher third down movement.
And now 3rd and goal coming up, the loss on 2nd down. That just means this crowd's going to get even louder, and they'll get a little bit of extra help from the defenders as they exhort them to join them in the effort.
This is a big play in this wild card matchup, facing 3rd and goal.
They'll try to run it in. It's Kamara. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Give him a couple on the run there, and now they're in that in-between area here on 4th and goal. And his kick is indeed good, and they will move up by 10 now, 17-7.
So that one on target, and it adds to this first half lead.
And maybe we're too early to worry too much about 1-score lead, 2-score lead, etc. But this is where you kind of start banking those points that come in helpful later on.
The Packers take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line.
They'll start out on the ground with Jones. And he's upended at the 33, following a good pickup of 8.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
On 2nd down, a run with Etienne.
And he'll be brought down right around the 37.
4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
Second into his prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, give it to your back. Let him pick up a 1st down. Keep the sticks moving.
And a pretty good burst there as he'll get this across midfield and down to the 46. Give him 18 on that play, and Green Bay has the first as well. 2 minutes to play here in this first half of the NFL playoffs. Now a 1st down carry by Jones. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
On 2nd down, it's Jones.
And a strong run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 35.
That'll be a pickup of 10 as they try to recover from this 10-point deficit.
Seemed like a couple sets of eyes were on the quarterback, so he decided, hey, I'm going to hand this off. Got a good gain out of it.
And you know you need good blocking up front in order to gain yardage, but every one of these RPOs, if you do it right and they look the same, whether it's handed off inside or the quarterback keeps it, that allows you to fool the defense so often. And in this case, fooled them with the inside run.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Out of the shotgun, it's Jones. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. A loss on that play, and now 3rd down gets tougher, 3rd and 6. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. The 25-yard line is what they need here. This is 3rd down. They'll look to throw here. And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. Now a 2nd timeout called for by the defense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime.
And Johnson's kick is good. And they're back within a touchdown at 17-10. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that could change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
My first thought is surprise, because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
And he's got some space here. And he will finally be escorted out of bounds down inside the 35. 53 yards rushing for him now, and he's only carried the ball 4 times. Well, they know they've got a good starter. Now the guy coming in to spell him shows he can run it pretty good as well.
And I think he appreciates the starter, wearing people down, tiring them out a little bit. He took full advantage, didn't he? Came in with fresh legs and carried the ball.
And he is going to lose yardage here. A good response by the defense, sending them backwards after that huge gain last play.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. This will be kicked from the 42. It's a 52-yard attempt. And this is good. He got just enough to clear the crossbar as he drops it in from long distance. So we come upon halftime here in this NFC Wild Card matchup as we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. One of these two teams about to play their final half of the season as we're back at it in this NFC wildcard bout. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And, Charles, that had to be an interesting locker room at halftime. This is a team that's had so much success this year. Haven't really had to deal with a lot of adversity at halftime. Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Marcus Williams. And the Saints are going to have it here at their own 9-yard line. And that one is going to sting. First play of the third quarter and a turnover.
And you have to know that at halftime, they spent a lot of time going through their checklist of what they wanted to accomplish to start this third quarter. Turning it over like this was not on that list.
Not at all. You come out of the locker room trailing, so that first drive to establish momentum is very key.
Crucial. Good yardage there on first down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making first downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your second down play.
And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. It'll be a Saints first down on a pickup of 13.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Kamara with a first down run, but he's unable to get back to the line of scrimmage as the push upfield was strong defensively.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Play action. It's Fields. And he completes this one to Terry McLaurin. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level, because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
The first-round pick, Jair Alexander, making the tackle.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
2 yards on the first down carry, and then followed up by 2 yards on the second down carry.
Well, that's definitely not going to be enough to get the job done. Wasn't the expression 3 yards in a cloud of dust?
Now they're going to need 6 on third down to keep the drive going. So it's 3rd and 6, and this will be the 8th play of the drive. A man who's been busy this afternoon, it's Kamara again. And he's able to work his way down inside the red zone to the 19-yard line. 10 yards, good for his Saints, first down. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
So after the run by Kamara, now another 1st and 10. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And they'll work this down to the 15 for a pickup of 4.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. They run the counter with Cook. They stopped after only a yard, taking it down to the 14.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Throwing on third down, Fields. He finds his man, complete. It's Love. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. His first catch of this wild card game, and it's good for a first down.
I think he has to be saying to himself, how did that not wind up a touchdown? Remember, he just did the tip of the ball across the plate.
And he is over the line for another rushing touchdown.
Is he a quarterback or is he a tailback?
Justin Fields, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Saints go coast to coast and finish the drive off with 6 points. And his kick is good, but flags come in. Looks like we're going to get a roughing call here on the follow-through. So they'll go ahead and accept the penalty. After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now a play fake here on first down.
On this one, incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's second down.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. And the Saints are going to take possession of the football. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the third quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. And third quarter here, you've got the lead. This is where that strong run game can really benefit you. Stayed in bounds there, kept the clock going.
I like all the points you just made there. And if you throw the football...
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Darnell Savage. And the Packers are going to get the football here at their own 40-yard line. Well, Charles, I know you appreciate seeing this great defense, especially with the heightened intensity of the postseason. These two defenses, they have risen to the occasion to force back-to-back interceptions.
You know me well, Brandon. I always stand with my fellow defenders, and I love watching them make plays, and you nailed it. It's playoff time. This is when it matters most.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Taken down at the 40-yard, 1-yard gain. Brings up 2nd and 9.
They'll look to throw.
He's going to launch this deep for Watson.
And this is caught. It's a big play there for Green Bay. 59 yards.
And that might be just what they needed to get back in this game. Sometimes you need a big play to shake things up, get a little life in your sideline, get everyone believing again, and they got it there in a big way.
Now Jones. And this will result in him losing yardage. Back to the 3.
This is a critical sequence here for this offense. Things really haven't gone their way so far. This could be their chance to get back into it, but they've got to find a way to punch this ball in.
They'll try to run with ETN.
And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2.
That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit.
A crucial penalty there as the hold backs him up for another 2nd and goal. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. A nice job of eluding the pressure there, scrambling for 11. 1 quarter remains in this NFC Wild Card matchup. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
This likely a must-have. 3rd and goal. ETN.
And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
Field goal unit and Brian Johnson out there.
From the left hash, he'll have to cut this at a tight angle.
And Johnson's kick is good.
And that will close the gap down to 14. Well, with that field goal, you can argue they needed to get back within 2 scores, and they did indeed do that, but still a pretty uphill battle.
Still going to take 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns to get back into it. And as you and I know, that's a tall order against any NFL defense. They're going to need their own defense to make some plays as well to give them an opportunity.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And they are looking good. A 2-score lead here in this 4th quarter as they hope to capture a spot in the divisional round next weekend. And he takes it all the way down to the 28-yard line. A big play there out of Kamara, 47 yards.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there, and on that play, I saw defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously, but at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
And he'll get this one down to about the 27.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces, and I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And just good downhill running there as he'll take this to the 15-yard line.
12 yards there, good for a Saints first down.
Brendan, every great running backs coach I've talked with has always talked about when you have great vision, you're not consciously thinking about your cuts and your moves. You're just doing them. And I think that's what we're seeing tonight. He's about to run them into submission, hasn't he?
You took the words right out of my mouth. I was just going to use that phrase. He had to run them into submission.
Wave the white flag.
And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage. Back at the 17. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Well, they've had success on the ground on this drive, and that makes a defense more likely to overcommit to stop the run as they did on that play. But keep in mind, it makes them susceptible to play-action passes as well.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. They'll run out of the gun with Kamara. And he'll get 7 yards from the 17 to the 10 before he's taken down. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
The Saints on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Again, it's Kamara. And he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up the 4th down.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this 3rd down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stuffed them for almost no gain.
Out now is the field goal unit for New Orleans. This to make it a 3-score game late. And his kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further.
So that almost certainly the final piece to this puzzle, a 3-score lead. I don't think there's any coming back from there.
But, you know, normally I'd get on you for giving up on the game right here, but I do think you're right in this case. This late in the game, 2 scores is tough enough. 3, I'm with you. That seems out of the question.
First and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line.
They are most likely staring at a cold end to their season here in this wild card round. Nothing has gone right so far, and they are, to be frank, in desperation mode now as they begin with a 1st and 10.
Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
And so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
Picked off by Hassan Reddick, and the Saints are going to take possession of the football.
That interception, maybe the exclamation mark on what really all around has been a good performance.
A fantastic performance. They will enjoy film session. Their grade should be very good on this one. And I think the next time the offense gets the ball, I just think about running it and getting the clock done and getting the heck out of here.
And by the way, semantics here, but before the grammar police come after me, I think it's exclamation points, not mark, right?
You're asking me? Seriously?
Yeah, you're smarter than me. Everybody knows that.
Listen, I go with what you say, my man.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Here's Fields. There's Chris Olave.
Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts. That's going to leave them with just one remaining here in this fourth quarter.
Third down.
And let's see, the Packers defensively 6 DBs, so a dime look on third.
Could play coverage or bring pressure.
They'll run it. Here's Cook. And Cook was fighting for it, but I don't think he got there. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense. That will be their third and final stoppage, as they'll only have the 2-minute warning now remaining.
They snap it to Fields.
And it's going to be batted down, and we'll go the other way with the football. The Saints' decision to go for it backfires. And the Packers' D comes up with a big stop.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive.
This one swung out here to Jones.
Just a gain of a couple there. And it's second down.
A gain of 2. Brings up second and 8.
He'll look to throw. And he's taken down here by the Saints. It'll go as a loss of about 6, and now it brings up third.
Remember, throughout my career here in defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. Well, they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. Now the throw on third down, knocked away and incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
That's to his running back, complete.
And he is going to have a Packers first down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive.
That's good for a Green Bay.
They're going to look to throw.
Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
So after the incompletion on first, now second and 10. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. He'll rifle this one deep right side. He's got a man, complete.
That's good.
And they're going to be settled down around the 15-yard line.
First and 10 at the 15-yard
From the
line.
red zone now, they'll look to throw. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Well, we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. And I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
On third down, here's Etienne.
And he's going to be a yard short. Needed 4, but got 3.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
And it looks like this will be the last play before the 2-minute warning. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. He cannot wiggle free. They stop him at the line on fourth down. Trying to run down some clock with Kamara. And he'll take this forward only up to about the 7. Credited with a 1-yard gain there to make it second and 9.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play.
Here's second and 9.
run it again with Kamara. And he'll take this one up to about the 13. Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now.
It's not a huge breakaway run, but if your starting running back finishes the game with averages of 5 or 6 yards per touch, you'll take that every single time.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And he'll be tackled about 2 yards shy of the line to gain. A 1-yard pickup leads to 4th down.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.